The Chicago Bears are about to make a massive move. Hello, everyone. I'm Andy here with Chicago Bears React, bringing you all of the Chicago Bears news you're seeking during the season and now here in the off season. Before we dive into today's story, please take a moment, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications and ensure that you don't miss any of the news stories coming out because it's going to be coming out hot and fast and consistently over the next several weeks as we dive into the combine, free agency, and eventually the NFL draft. Now, for today's story, we're going to be looking at another update relating to one Justin Fields. And we've been talking about on the channel since the very beginning that it seemed like after that loss to the Packers, the writing was on the wall. Justin was going to be moved at some point in the offseason. And now we've gotten the most I think blatant and direct example of that, smoke coming from that fire, shall we say, from this message from Albert Breer. Albert Breer was talking on ESPN 1000, and he shared, quote, "I think the bones of a trade will be set next week. There's some urgency of the Bears on the Bears' part to get something done." So a few kind of interesting tidbits, things to mention as we kind of take a look at this. So for one, we can take a look at the timing. So a couple timing things. For one, this is coming on the heels of Justin unfollowing the Bears on Instagram. Justin, later clarified on the St. Brown Brothers podcast that he did that just to kind of avoid the distractions, to kind of keep his head clear during his vacation time. I think it's very likely that about this time when Justin unfollowed the Bears is about when they told him, hey, we are going to trade you. And I think when he made that move and when the public noticed it, my guess is the PR team were like, hey, Justin, can you please walk back that somehow? That wouldn't surprise me at all. Just as a way to like, hey, we're trying to get a good trade. We're trying to make a good deal. And my guess is, they asked him to at least come up with a better story than just, I didn't want to follow the Bears anymore. But the other timing piece here is why next week? Right, so why? This isn't saying, to be clear, that a trade is going to be done next week. Just that, like, a trade is going to be formulated. It's the they said the bones will be put together, and so I think the idea here is we might even see a leak of like who the trade partner is ultimately going to be and what the package will be. My guess is by next week we're going to hear exactly what the Bears are likely to get for him, whether that's a first or a second round pick. So, but next week, for those who don't realize, is the NFL Combine. And so you're going to be getting a lot of NFL people all in the same facility together to scout the draft picks. And it's a great opportunity because, one, it's before free agency. And so you've got teams who, if you can get a deal done before free agency, you might be able to capitalize on a team that wants to make sure they guarantee they get a quarterback, right? So that's one. Two, a lot of teams want to get that kind of deal done before they even get too invested in scouting quarterbacks. So if you're somebody, let's say you're the Raiders, I think they have like the 13th pick in this draft. You might be a little apprehensive about the idea of being able to get a top quarterback. And so at the NFL Combine, they might be seeing J.J. McCarthy, for instance, throw, and they might be thinking, man, I don't think that's him. And you might be able to get a little bit of that pressure of, man, we may not be able to get the quarterback we think. And so you're going to get a team like the Raiders who's like, okay, so do we either trade up and give up a ton of assets to get Jaden Daniels or Drake May or whoever, the quarterback they think they can sneak up and get? Or do we trade maybe a little bit less capital and get Justin Fields? And so I think it's a prime opportunity. Everybody's there. Everybody's going to be talking. You're going to be able to kind of get a sense just by what scouts are looking at and everything, who is really invested in the idea of going after like a Justin Fields. So timing there makes perfect sense. So this is going to be a story you're going to want to keep an eye out for. like I said, I think by next week we could be looking at, an Albert Breer or Adam Schefter report that a deal has been kind of loosely agreed to by a team with the Bears. So let me know what you think. Does this sadden you? Does this get you excited? What do you think Justin goes for? The comments are always open. Would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, Bears fans, bear down.